First, I'm gonna do a selfie, if you don't mind. For my Instagram. Alright. My name is Brenda Vega, and I am from a little country that you may not know. It's Ecuador in South America. It's very little, so you imagine that I am extremely happy to be here today, because I've traveled more than 30 hours straight to come from my country, and I think for an emerging artist this is an amazing opportunity, first of all. And I just want to say that this city has made a huge impression to me. I'm very happy to be here. It's very beautiful, very organized, and a group of people such as yourselves being here this afternoon of holidays, it means a lot to me. I just want to say that, first of all. Okay, well, yes, I am a fine art photographer, and as my fellow artists here, we graduated last December at London College of Communication in London, and it was a great opportunity if you are trying to develop your own practice and research, when you want to, yes, develop yourself as an artist more than a photographer, I have to say. When I was at college, I didn't know what to research or what I was concerned about, and then I realized being far away from my house, a long way alone, made me feel like I felt very lonely, and I started loving it and hating technology, because this tool right here, it's in your hand, and it's in my hand, and it's everybody's hand at the moment. And as a human, we're nobody without technology, because we need it for everything, and that started to create a conflict for me. I am still conflicted about how I use technology and how I rely on technology for the most basic of things. So that can resume my practice. Then I realized that we are not only using technology for our own good, we are using to produce content for big companies and corporations that are taking our information for free, and they are selling our information to other companies and advertising companies to sell products without making any mistakes, because our information is so accurate at the moment that it's very expensive. So just to realize that human, like the mass, the collective, they don't realize this, that you're using constantly your social media, you're feeding your content, and you don't know that this content is going somewhere to be sold, and you're doing it for free, and you're doing it because you think it's free and you think it makes you feel connected. But you're not connected. You are actually getting disconnected from nature, because when you use more technology, you don't want to engage with nature, and this is for a fact. When was the last time that you visit nature and you camp without technology, without making a selfie, without having a nice landscape picture to share, or just because to have the experience of being in nature? So all of these create such a big conflict for myself, because I'm in the middle. That's why I took the selfie, right? Because I'm gonna feed my social media with this amazing experience, but at the same time, this selfie is gonna be one of the billion selfies that is uploading every day on social media, and I'm the mass. I'm just a mass. I'm not an individual or an artist. I'm just a mass. So to take this into account, I started researching how this relationship is making us being enclosed, how we are being more isolated instead of being more socialized. So I want to tell you that I'm doing an artist residency at the moment in my hometown in Quito, Ecuador. and this is a long-term residency. I'm doing it until December, and I have my own space, my own workshop, and to produce work. And the proposal that I presented, which is the proposal that I'm doing it at the moment, that is a continuation of my research on the MA, is called the digital self. And the digital self is, let me read you the manifesto, okay? So we'll go back to the last slide. This is the manifesto. I developed 9 personalities of the digital self. One of each personalities are going to be represented photographically and creating videos that I will explain later. So let me read you this very quickly. I did this performance if you were last night. The digital self is defined through interaction, and without it no longer exists. The digital self oscillates with its constant online performance. It does not have a single shape. The digital self seeks the stardom through a potential increasing audience. The digital self needs affirmation, attention, something real. Ignorance is a condition of the digital self. The digital self is the slave of social media, an app bitch. The digital self believes in its repetitive single condition. The digital self does not have control on its own information. Once it's out there, and then, who knows? The digital self comes off to defend or offend what it believes. So this manifesto is based on the research that it can be the basic personalities of when one is browsing through the online tools and the social media. So what I'm going to do after the residency is to bring it in a material world, because my work is very post-internet. That means that it has a blend of materiality and the digital. So I'm playing with the analog picture as well, and I'm trying to bring the analog into the digital, so I do a lot of collages, and I blend them, and I glitch them, and I do mix of sounds, and and words. I work a lot with words as well. By the way, this is a small video. I'm not sure if we'll open. Let's try. Okay, I don't think it will work. It's a first manifestation of this writing, and it will be exhibited in London in a few days as part of the Writing Photographs exhibition that some of us are present here are going to take part, which is very exciting for me because the manifesto is taking shape. Now it's a video, and soon it will be a photographic representation. So this is the first draft of my manifesto, and this is the first line. So the digital self is defined through interaction, and without it no longer exists. So don't take this as a final image, it's just a draft, but I'm really glad with it because now I'm mixing my concerns of being away from nature and putting it as a green screen, but not being really there, and I'm interacting with myself and with myself and with myself. Then this is a few representations of what I've done since February at the residency. So I'm doing the manifesto, the performance, and I'm doing this in close portraits, and I use cyanotype as well to have the analog feeling in my work. The next work is exhibiting at the moment at the BEAUTIFOU Gallery, and it's called Interface Nature. So it's basically about what I just said before. This character, which is not myself, that is somebody very like me, that is having a lot of conflict, wandering around the video space and the photographic space. So I did installation. So it comprises video, performance, a sculpture, and then now a book that you can browse through in the back. It's called #IDCare. And yeah, basically it will have a video, but it's not showing. Sorry about that. And the other element is the sculpture. This is it's called Je suis commodity, and it's a sculpture that I did based on the most famous selfie poses that I found on social media. So I took a selfie, 4 selfies actually, and then I printed, and then I ironed them in a copper plate base, and then I developed them with a chemical as you will develop the materials to have technological components. And then we built a light source, a flashing light. So this sculpture is lighted from the inside with a flashing light, so like dragging attention. Look at me, look at me. And then the installation had this sort of accidents. So this is a screenshot of the computer when I'm working, then suddenly collapses. So I find this as a protest because the machine is exhausted at the moment. So the machine wants you to stop, but you're not listening actually. So I find it beautiful that the machine has this amazing aesthetic that I cannot produce myself. So it suddenly appears somewhere, and it will appear all the time with my practice now because it's beautiful accidents that are there. But I also play with the machine, so let's say this one is a glitch that I kind of produce blending one analog picture with a digital picture, because this is the way nature is seen by us, a very abstract landscape. Again, the accident, so this is not produced by me, the image on the right. It's an image of me, similar as the one on the left, but my computer was tired, so she decided to give me this. So I think that's the beauty of the portrait, not the other side. And then I have a few pictures. This is one of them that I'm very enclosed by a red fabric, and then I wanted to liberate myself at nature, but there's the green screen all the time in between nature and the self. And this was the manifesto that I didn't do the performance, but it was in the previous in the show in December at London, so just let me read you quickly a few lines. I share these thoughts because sharing is something I do, not something I think about. This is the right place to be. I declare my life is lived better with technology, and life offline sucks. I declare success translates into popularity online. I declare when I feel the need to take a mirror picture, I post it and get tons of likes. I declare I am unique, and all overwhelming beauty must be captured on camera. I declare that I reproduce my face according to famous archetypes. I declare I circulate through online performance only, and goes on and on. It has one declaration I'm fighting against, and I have a vision, like a manifesto was written on the Dada period and the Surreal period. So this was like bye guys, I will miss you so much. Take care. Love you so much. So this was a like homage of the written of the manifesto that the artist did 100 years ago, and people forgot, but suddenly because of globalization and the internet, the manifesto thing is coming back, so this is a homage. I did a good performance, so we didn't interact with the audience or with ourselves. We we just read the manifesto from our devices. So we create this shape, like this triangle, like trying to have this infinite form, but at the same time, we are together, but we are not together. So this is the feeling that I encounter when we are using social media, that we can chat with our friends, we can be next to each other, but we don't interact with each other in a material way. And finally, this is how the installation looked at London. It's pretty similar to what I'm showing now. So I invite you, if you haven't gone to the gallery, to visit it until the end of May, because the show is very interested about this type of post-internet, the stuff that I'm doing, that also I feel like JT is doing, and a few other artists. So I think that's it for me. Thank you very much, and thank you for the opportunity.
Brenda 来自于厄瓜多尔，她对于人类使用科技带来的结果非常感兴趣。因为实践是关于人们持续不断的暴露在社交网络下的担忧。在过去几年，科技设备的使用成倍增长，全球社交似乎变成了评论、转发、点赞，连接起来的一个世界。然后他探索容貌、身体和个人电子设备之间的复杂关系，他是怎样构建自我和构建一种表演性的人格、一种表演性的身份。他认为，网络上的各种暗示是一系列产生焦虑的工具。当时1世纪手持电子设备似乎已经取代了自然。他的第一个进行中的项目是在他家乡的一个9个月的驻地项目，他正在制作，他的项目叫 The Digital Self， 它是关于一段宣言和影像的再现。他将有形物质的材料和电子对象杂糅在一起，去展示他们某种当下，就去展示当下在这个时代中他们某种共处的状态。The Interface Nature 是他毕业的一个作品，它是一个多媒介的装置，包含视频、雕塑和一段宣言和表演。它使用技术作为中间介质，去揭示我们和自然的某种尴尬的关系。然后它使用 glitch 是就是电脑中会出现的一种小差错，一种乱码。作为对于过度使用机械的一种抗议。然后他还探索了自拍，作为过去几年中革命式的肖像拍摄。这种自拍可以是假的，但它直接揭示了摄影者的身份。最后，就这样，谢谢。